Awesome. And then let me go ahead and put Sam back on again so she can finish up her duties. Of course, I'm trying to find her. Sorry. This is alphabetical, isn't it? Well, here, I'm already having to admit. I really need to give this back to Sarah or Sam. There we go. There's all right. Make host. Oh, not PJ. Sorry, PJ. You don't want that. You were so close to Sam's name. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, good day, everyone. We're super excited to have you join us today. This event is brought to you by WANIGP, SAMPO and RMGPA. That's in Colorado, if you don't know, and SAMPO is in New York, and of course, the Washington State Chapter. Our hope is that you will walk away from this session inspired to create a similar program within your chapter, or if you're an emerging professional or a young professional, that you become a member of your chapter once you have one. If you already have one, we hope we can also give you some tips and tricks by the end of the session. So please note again, this session is being recorded for training purposes only. A link will be emailed to all participants after this event. We have about 70 people signed up for today. So I know people are dropping in their names and entity and maybe the temperature in their state where they're at right now in the chat. So we would love to see how many chapters from NIGP is represented. But first, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Please make sure you mute yourself so that you can enjoy the presentation and not interrupt your neighbors in the virtual space. And you already probably typed up your chapter name. We forgot to ask, hey, if you have a role in your chapter, we'd love to see who are in the room as well. If you are a president or a member or a committee, please let us know. And then if you have questions at any time, please enter that in the chat. Our Maya here has graciously agreed and will be assisting and monitoring the chat throughout the presentation. So we'll do our very best to address it at this event or connect with you afterwards. We'll have our contact information at the last slide. All right. So here's our agenda. Oh, and let me just minimize that so you guys don't need to see yourselves in the camera. All right. So today's agenda. What is an emerging professional program? And then we'll do our quick introductions of ourselves in the planning committee, and then an overview of this program. And then we have our 4 volunteers, not volunteers from our chapters to talk about and share testimonials of this event, of their experience so far in the emerging professional. And then we'll have a Q&A and a wrap up at the end. All right. So if I can have all our chapter folks that are here, and maybe now I do want to see who's in the room. Let's do that. Introduce yourselves. So let me, I guess, start with Washington NIGP. My name is Jenny Justiniano. I am the president of the Washington State Chapter for 2024 and also the co-chair for this emerging professional. I will pass it on to my co-chair, Cheryl.
Good morning. I'm Cheryl Mankey. I apologize. My camera will not work. It'll shut me down repeatedly. So I'm here and waving. I am past president of Washington Chapter NIGP and current co-chair of our emerging professionals with Jenny. Thank you. And I will pass it to Maya.
Awesome. Thanks, Cheryl. I am Maya Lampin. I'm the immediate past president for NIGP and one of the committee members for emerging professionals. And then I'm going to pass it to you, Sam. And just so you know, Kristen and Jessica weren't able to join us today. So you're our last one, Sam.
Okay, thank you. Hi, I'm Sam Miller in Wenatchee, Washington for Link Transit, and I am the treasurer for the chapter and happy to be on the emerging professional committee. And then we'll pass it over to which agency? Entity?
It's New York. Hello, everybody. I am Sarah Andrews from New York State SAMPO, and I am your SAMPO second vice president, and then also I am the co-chair for the Emerging Professionals Program. I should mention, I'm with Dutchess County in New York, so looking at all the areas. I'm near a lot of you from New York that are chiming in today. And Sabrina Samuels, who isn't unfortunately not on the call today. She's the other co-chair. She is a purchaser two with Rockland County. She is our current vice president and she co-chairs this program with me. And then I'll pass it over to Erin, who is a committee member of this program.
Hello, everyone. My name is Erin Lynch. I work with Ulster County, right across the river from Sarah in the beautiful Hudson Valley. I am a Region 2 representative and, as Sarah mentioned, committee member with the emerging professionals. I'm happy to see you all.
Great. Our next one, Trudy, go ahead and wrap this up.
I am Trudy Peepgrass. I am currently the RMGPA president out in Colorado and Wyoming region. We are looking, RMGPA currently does not have an emerging professionals committee. We are looking to see if there is a need and a want for this. So if you are from RMGPA, reach out and we can have these discussions moving forward. But I think this is a great opportunity. And I just want to thank everybody for attending, as well as Washington and New York for hosting.
Great. Awesome. Thank you for that. And I apologize. Oh, it looks like, yes, I will put back the presentation. I just wanted to see people's faces to make sure that we can recognize them. And so that happened. So hold on a second. Let me try to get back to that. Okay. Let me just make sure I go past Trudy here. And there we go. Does that look better, everybody? Yes, awesome. Thank you so much.
So much better, Jenny.
Why, thank you. I recognize the voice. I can't see faces, but I can recognize the voice. So you ask, what is an emerging professional? And so we try to put all the notes here in the, oh, I apologize, notes here on the on our PowerPoint, because we know that this is going to be a training material. And instead of having to dig notes, we thought we'd just kind of give you all the information that we can. And so, instead of like reading through all of this for you, it's basically a simple, you're an emerging professional if you've only been in public procurement for under 5 years. So 5 years in a day, you're now semi-seasoned. So that's pretty much how we define it as an emerging. We didn't want to highlight too much on the young professional, but that's to come. So with that said, we are going to do a quick poll. We are going to do this in the old-fashioned way. And so get ready to be in the chat here in just a second. I'm going to launch the first question. Are you an emerging professional? Again, meaning it's less than 5 years. Either raise your hand or say yes in the chat. Wow, this is great. Got a lot of yeses. The people with the no, you're coming, it's coming. I see Sam's hand is raised. That's great. Okay, next question. Are you a young professional under 40 years old? Not 40 years old.
You're asking us to reveal our age, Jenny?
Just, or a thumbs down. I don't know if there is such a thing in there, but awesome. Way over. That also works. So that's a no. Long way of saying no. Great. Next question. Are you a seasoned professional And if so, how many years of experience do you have? Between 6 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, or I guess just you could put in what it is. If you remember your anniversary. Okay, not 11 to 20. 6 to 10, that's great. All right, who can top the 35? I know somebody who's 40 in our chapter or plus. Oh, somebody remembers their anniversary. July 23rd. That was a good summer. Congratulations. It's almost your anniversary. Great. All right. Well, thank you for participating in that. It's great to see the variety of groups that's in the room. All right. So you're probably wondering, how did this program come about? And what inspired us to do it? So our now immediate past president, Maya Lampinen, she actually learned about this from NIGP. And so she contacted Sarah and her team and asked them for an interview or an overview of the program. And so that, with that meeting, it inspired her and easily decided that, you know what, this is something that she would like our chapter to participate in. And of course, the next thing is, how do you find your volunteers, right? So months and months of meeting with a handful of volunteers or voluntoles, whatever we want to call them. A charter was finally completed and we signed it. So Maya signed it, I signed it, Cheryl signed it, and we became co-chairs for the program. And that was on November 14th, 2022. Right after that, the planning meeting got underway in December 2022 through January of 23. And we decided, you know what, the energy is up. We don't want to slow down the cadence. So let's just plan on a kickoff meeting. So without further ado, we held our first kickoff meeting on February 8th of 2023. And we've been meeting monthly ever since. So during our first year, one of the first things we like to do is, since we're piloting the first year, is make sure that we check in right away. We had decided then that we were going to do every second Wednesday of every month. But when we did the survey, it revealed that folks actually would prefer to meet every second Thursday of every month. And so based upon that, we listened. And so in 2024, we had changed our meeting series from Wednesday to a Thursday. Still the same time, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., kind of, almost to the end of everybody's day. And so that's pretty much how we did it. And so with that, I am going to tag team now, and Sarah is going to present her background and how she came about.
SAMPO's little history on emerging professionals. So thank you, Ginny, for that warm introduction. And just to give credit where credit is due. SAMPO did not come up with this program first. One of our past presidents, John Flynn, I want to say he called me back in 2021. At the time, I was about a month into assistant. I was like a second assistant regional representative. So very low man on the totem pole, just sort of getting involved with the SAMPO board. And he said that through NIGP, he had heard about a chapter, the Missouri chapter, actually. He had heard that Kara Daniel from the Missouri chapter had just started this like young professional, emerging professional program with her chapter. And, as a way to engage their younger members and their emerging professional members. And he said, we should probably do something like this for SAMPO. And he said, I'm going to hook you up with Sabrina Samuels, Rockland County, who is at the time she was an assistant regional rep. She's now the vice president of SAMPO. And he said, I'm going to hook the two of you up and I want you to start this program. And scared, we were like, okay, so what do you do? And similar to what we're, maybe helping other chapters today with a call like this, is we reached out to Kara Daniel to be like, what did you do? How did you start? And just to, we just were looking for a place to start, a foot to start off on. And she was really helpful. And fortunately, we took her advice with a lot of things, the lessons learned, right? Hindsight's always 2020. One thing that we really took from her, a suggestion that she had for inclusivity, was to shy away. And I think Ginny had sort of mentioned this earlier in the presentation today. Shy away from calling it a young professional program and make it more inclusive by saying this is an emerging professional, because an emerging professional really can be any age. So we really wanted to take away and, sort of steer away from that young professional title. And after that, Sabrina and I put our heads together and sort of just started developing a program. What did we want when we were first starting as an emerging professional, when we were brand new? What would have been helpful to us then, and what would be helpful to us now, honestly? So by August of but June, August, the summer months there, we really honed in on the program. And by August, we had developed our charter, our mission statement, our goals, and presented it for the board. It was approved. And we decided we would roll out Fresh Start, 2022. So how we rolled out was we had a 30-minute orientation webinar we put out to our members. Hey, listen, this is a program we're putting out. This is what it looks like. We're looking for under 5 years, but of course, that's not everybody. Maybe you have more years, but you still consider yourself an emerging professionals. That's allowed. You have to be a member of SAMPO. And, we're really interested to hear what would help you. And similar to what Ginny said, while that momentum's going, the second that orientation ended, we sent out a survey to all the attendees that said, listen, this is the program we're going. What do you want? What do you want from us? What days of the week work better for you? What time of the day works better to you for events and round tables, things like that. So all of that was really helpful in us formulating our program and just starting it. And you don't have to be perfect to start. Just start is a nice little quote I have for everybody here. And every year we seem to tweak things. We survey our members and tweak things in the program. And just so we rolled out 2022, and in 2023, we've now even expanded more. We now offer a mentorship program through our emerging professionals program, where we pair an emerging professional with a SAMPO seasoned member. So just, start your program and roll with it. See where your members want you to go. And we hope that this webinar today is helpful to you and your chapter.
Great. Thank you for that. So we mentioned about the charter. This is just a snippet of what we have for the chapter here in Washington. So we have the live document. We could definitely send that over and share with you. And this is samples. Okay. And then, of course, just like anything, we like to always be clear on what our mission is and what that is. So just do that. So here's samples. I'm not going to read through the bullets, but it just gives you the gist of come up with a mission and make sure that it makes sense to your entity or to your chapter, and make it so that it is something that they would definitely grab onto and understand what the mission and vision is. And this is a Washington NIGP. Okay. And then, of course, we talked a little bit, Sarah and I talked a little bit about the why. And so because we know the why, we really wanted to share the whys with you through these bullets. So we're all on the same page as far as making sure that it's when you create the program, whether it's going to be virtual or in person, that we really let the members know that this is a judgment-free environment so that they don't feel intimidated or scared to ask a question. And that it's also a forum for gathering and networking, and that it does cross-pollinate, so to speak, whether you're a transit, a city, a county, whatever have you, that you are, you're all kind of speaking the same language maybe different interpretations, maybe different acronyms, ITB versus IFB, but at the end of the day, it's still the same thing that you are doing and that you have all this commonality. So just examples again of like just topics that they discussed. And so I wanted to share that with you. And again, very similar look and feel as far as Washington NIGP. But again, one of the things that we want to really hone on is the professional development, so that if you don't have one in your office, maybe we can help you with that. Because the unique part about this emerging, it's not just for the emerging, leading the emerging, it's actually seasoned folks like Cheryl and I to be leading and facilitating these meetings. And then some of our members are also seasoned. So you do need the seasoned, we need the seasoned folks to join so that they can help our emerging and young professionals, whatever program you end up doing. Okay. So this is again samples, their eligibility and who can join the program. Very similar. Say the same thing. Okay. And then here's our, it's kind of our session, right? This is how we normally do things. You can see that SAMPO is doing it quarterly. We're doing it monthly. And remind me, Sarah, did you guys start more frequently and then kind of decided to condense a little bit?
We did. I think when we first kicked off, we were a little bit more frequent. And then again, as our program sort of has evolved, especially with the mentorship program, we found that our members, we weren't getting as much engagement at the roundtables that we were holding as often. So we sort of decided, let's spread these out maybe quarterly instead of monthly. And so far seems to be good. But again, we will be surveying at the end of the year and we'll see how this is working. It's all just a work in progress.
Exactly. Yeah, so thank you for that. So we do find that the monthly, although they fluctuate in numbers, people are still showing up. And that's a great thing. That means that gives us a pulse that the members are. And, we have grown, and I don't know with SAMPO or RMGPA, how much growth you guys have gotten as far as membership. Not just in numbers, but really identifying who are the emerging professionals. So we still have to do that exercise. Cheryl and I always have things that we want to think about, expanding the membership and making sure that, we are still accomplishing the mission and vision of this program. So yeah, we do a 1 hour virtual session, like I say, via Zoom, second Wednesday of every month. I would say it's important that you coordinate with your other committees if they are having one. So for example, with Washington NIGP, we have lunch and learns first Wednesdays, I believe, of every month. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we want to make sure we don't pile on a couple of things in the same week. We move on to the next one. And if it falls on a holiday, we need to be flexible on some of those dates. But for the most part, I think we've been pretty safe as far as when we hold these meetings. So yeah, we definitely start at the beginning and end within the hour. We never actually not get done or we never like run out of things to talk about. So let's just put it that way. Again, content to align with purpose is very, very important. Okay. And then for tips and tricks and best practices, these are kind of our items as well. And Aaron, you can give me a time check. Let me know. I want to make sure I'm not okay. Yes, raise your hand, please.
Yeah, so we're just testimonials will start at 9:25, just to keep you posted.
Yeah, great, thank you. So yeah, I'll run this through quickly because I can't remember which slide we're at for the testimonials, but let me know if I've got a couple more minutes. Is that correct?
I think you have this slide and
Actually,
one more slide.
Yeah.
We're good? Okay.
We're a little over time, but just if you have a
We'll
couple more
speed it up.
slides, we'll figure, yeah.
Awesome, great, thank you for that. So yeah, basically here are tips and tricks. I'm not going to go through each of that. And then again, just another reminder of the meeting format. This is literally how we like to have it as roundtable, but hey, if you can come up with a different format, please, you are welcome. These are just samples. And again, Our sessions are typically not recorded, but for today's session, we definitely wanted to make sure that you're able to view this later on and see our PowerPoint. I will email them as well. But yeah, so without further ado, I would like to call on our testimonials. Our very first one is actually with our very own chapter. And Sarah Hastings, please take it away.
Hello, I'm Sarah Hastings, and I am the Grants and Contracts Administrator for the Port of Skagit. I've been with the port for 6.5 years, but in my current role, excuse me, for only 3.5 years. Before I worked for the port, I worked for small law firms as a paralegal and oversaw accounting for the firms. So while I do have a background in reading the fine print and crunching the numbers, I'm not sure I was prepared for public procurement. WANIGP Group has been instrumental in helping me make the transition to public procurement. I am a department of one and was struggling with where to find answers to all the questions I had. A friend from another port suggested I join WANIGP and the Emerging Professionals Program, and that was one of the best things I could have done. What a relief it was when I attended the first meeting. People were asking questions that I hadn't even thought to ask. There was so much help with some of the unusual bids that I end up coming up with for some reason. There's a fountain of knowledge and kindness and camaraderie that I didn't know I was missing. And it has made my job so much easier knowing that there is this large group of friends that I can reach out to if I'm stuck in any way, shape, or form. I'm so proud to be a part of this group and enjoy being able to pass on the knowledge that I have as younger, newer members come on. And so I would like to just, say thank you for letting me be a part of this group. And I will actually now pass it over to Melissa with the City of Ridgefield.
Thank you, Sarah. My name is Melissa Irwin, and I am a procurement coordinator with the City of Ridgefield in Ridgefield, Washington. And actually, before this job, I was on the private sector for a little over 5 years, and I had switched over to the public procurement sector within the last 2.5 years. So it has been, let's just say, quite a roller coaster of a learning curve, and kind of understanding the ins and outs of Washington State legislative, and all the rules on the public side. And I actually received a recommendation to join the Washington State NIGP group from another local entity, City of Vancouver, actually. And so I thought it would be such a great opportunity to kind of learn, expand my knowledge in the public procurement field. And am I so glad I did join. I've been a part of the Washington State NIGP group for a couple of years now, or about 1.5 years now. And I actually heard about the Emerging Professionals Program through, or being a part of the Washington State NIGP group. And it was kind of something new, they were trying to implement. And so, I thought it would be very helpful, especially just trying to grow my knowledge in the field. So when I started joining back, February of last year, I found it to actually be, very helpful from the beginning. I personally enjoy the structure of the Emerging Professionals group. I love that every meeting we actually open with kind of an icebreaker section. So I find it very helpful to kind of open up, be comfortable around each other, kind of get to know each other as a group better. And that's just such a fun way, to learn about others in the group, and more of their background and all of that. So it just helps make a very welcome and comfortable environment. And from there, I have also noticed, as I've been a part of this program as well, I've found it a little easier over time to kind of open up, kind of speak, a little better within the professional group, and just feel comfortable with asking questions. I never felt judged, or, never felt really nervous or anything about like asking a certain question. I have actually learned, some new resources from since joining the group, like federal procurement side. That is such a new ball game for me. So, learning of some of those resources just from joining this group, I find it to be a great networking opportunity. We're kind of the first group to learn of upcoming events, and ways to get more involved in the program. Another helpful tool I more recently learned about, that was introduced through the group, is the Google group. So there's kind of a group with the Washington State NIGP, where everyone's on this Google Share, and if you have any sort of questions or anything, it's, I think, a great opportunity and way to have that live response and get feedback, or input from other members in the groups, because I may not know who to reach out to, but if I throw a question out there, I know someone with experience or knowledge, can assist, and I don't necessarily have to wait for an email response or something. It's a lot easier, in that fashion. So I'm so grateful that Washington State NIGP has opened up this new program and allowed newer public procurement professionals like myself to join and grow more knowledge in the field. So thank you so much for having me. I'd love to pass it to Gina Klug and the New York SAMPO group.
Thank you. And you said my last name right, Klug. So I'm Gina, and I'm super excited to be included in the call today because there's so many people from all around the country. I'm actually from Pueblo, Colorado. I moved to New York City in 2005. I wanted to do like professional dance. I wanted to be a rockette. I wanted to be on Broadway. And eventually gave up on all that and kind of got into procurement, which is great also. But I began as a purchasing technician at Western Suffolk BOCES. That's the Board of Cooperative Educational Services. When I started there as a purchasing technician, I hadn't had an office job in a very long time, probably since high school, where I did some part-time work for a lawyer, and I felt completely out of sorts. I didn't know, how to sit quietly at a desk all day. I was also kind of, thinking this seems boring and terrible, but I had the best boss, Lorraine Hine, who was the director of business there. She is the most passionate person about procurement you will ever meet. And she taught me everything she knows about procurement, but she also, I remember most when she was spending time with me, she would say, I love my job. She would say, every day something different happens. Every day I'm thinking critically about what I should do, what's the best choice, constant decision making that really impacts, everybody in your whole district or your city, town. So she kind of like made me as passionate about purchasing as I was about dance. I kind of forgot, what even I was vying for. And I got so much knowledge from her. It was going amazing there working under her, but one day her friend retired at Smithtown Central School District, and she recommended me for the job, which was a huge promotion. And, to set off on my own, I was kind of scared. And I said, Lorraine, I don't think I can do it. I'm worried about, I won't have you to ask questions all the time. And she said, you can definitely ask me questions all the time. She's even my SAMPO mentor. So I have like a Zoom with her monthly, which is great. So I started here at Smithtown School District 2 years ago. And, I'm learning little by little. I keep, telling Lorraine, how can I thank you for what you've done for me? And she says, do the same thing for somebody else, volunteer your time, try to, network, figure out who you can work with, who can you help benefit in their roles, share your knowledge. So when I saw the Emerging Professionals program, I joined right away because I needed some extra assistance here, some additional knowledge, and Sarah and Sabrina kind of became my replacement Lorraine, sort of. They're also helpful in a different way. So when I have questions about certification, Lorraine became a CPPB years and years ago. When I spoke to Sarah about it, she had a Word document that had, line by line advice about what I should do. And I followed that to the T. They gave me direction regarding the NIGP CPP certification. I also feel like when you are working with emerging professionals, the newer procurement, people in procurement, we are more, open to online bidding procedures, more open to like AI and, some of the more newer things coming out in procurement. So, meanwhile, some of my other mentors are kind of on, their way out of working. They're going to retire soon. So it's really nice to have a network of newer people in the role that I can always bounce ideas off of and kind of see what they're up to in their roles too. So, I can't say enough great things about the program, and I hope you can all join if you aren't already involved. And next we have Christy.
Hi, everybody. My name is Christy Vasallo. So I am a purchasing technician at Eastern Suffolk BOCES. I've been here a little over 2 years. And prior to this, I was also in I shouldn't say very different roles, but not in public procurement. I was a buyer for like Bed Bath & Beyond, for Ross stores. A couple of you may know those stores. So very big, different type of position. So I agree with what Melissa said. There's definitely a big learning curve because it was so different. I thought, oh, okay, I was a buyer. I'll pick this up quick. But it's definitely very, very different. So this has been super helpful. So the way I got into SAMPO was Lori Conley is my boss here at Eastern Suffolk BOCES. And she is very involved with New York SAMPO. So I got involved right away and then got involved with the emerging professionals. And it has been great because it's just a place where, especially when I first started out, you maybe felt silly asking your boss a question that you felt like you could ask in emerging professionals. So I felt much more comfortable asking it there. You could run different scenarios. So I definitely find it super, super helpful. And I'm very grateful for that. So
Great. Thank you for that, Christy.
thank you.
Yeah. So the next second here, if you guys could get your smartphones ready, I'm gonna and I'll leave this QR code. Go ahead and speak, Sarah, and then we'll
Yeah, we'll get everybody a
Stop.
minute to sort of pull up, get their cell phones out. And if you go to your camera and put it on the screen here, you should get like a little notification to click on, which will bring you to Padlet. It's a little poll. From there, I've got about 4 questions, and I'm going to switch screens in just a moment. I just want to make sure I give everybody ample time to grab their cell phones and get that QR code up. And once you get there, you're going to see 4 questions. You'll see a bright green background. And feel free, you can chime in. It's just a chat. You can type live time right in there. Any sort of answers, questions, comments, sort of thing to any of those questions in there. I'm just going to give another 10 seconds here, and then I'm going to share my screen. All right. Just share here. So I can't see anyone's faces at the moment. So can someone just let me know? Can we see the screen? The Padlet screen?
Sarah, it still shows the, oh, there it is. Now we see it.
We're good? Okay, thank you.
I stopped sharing.
Huh?
When I stopped sharing it.
Oh. Thank you. So great. Good to see people already chiming in here. So just to go over the questions, the first one is, what do you expect from an emerging professionals program? So you yourself, I know we had a lot in the poll that would consider themselves emerging professionals. What do you expect from a program? Maybe you don't already have one at your chapter, or maybe you do have one in your chapter. Feel free to write this in. This is, write whatever you feel in that one. My other questions we have are, what would be helpful to you as an emerging professional? That is information that is so helpful to your chapter, to us here on the call that have these programs, because they help us tailor the program to your needs. And that's what this is all about. My next question is, what would you like to see happen next for emerging professionals? Feel free to chat in there. And where did you hear about this roundtable opportunity? Definitely curious just to see what sort of hit you to let you know about this roundtable today, so that we know that's a really good place to obtain some interested attendees. So I just want to look at some of these. So what do you expect from what do you expect from an emerging professionals program? Being able to ask questions. Love that. A safe space to problem solve. I love this. This is wonderful. What would be helpful to you as an emerging professional? A mentor with, or a group to chat with. Isn't that great? Love having a mentor, support and advice. What would you like to see happen next for emerging professionals? A robust mentorship program. I like how our program is going. That's great to hear. Great feedback for whoever chapter that is. Carry on. It's great. We're doing it. Love it. More new emerging professionals joining. Absolutely. The bigger the group of emerging professionals, that's just adding to your networking, adding to your resources. And what is there's strength in numbers? I'm pretty sure that's a big quote. Where did you hear about this roundtable opportunity? I'm just kind of curious here. Coworkers received an email. Awesome. Sarah Andrews. So I sat next to. Oh, that's so funny. Awesome. I'm glad I spread the word. That's what it's all about. So that's awesome. How are you doing with time, Erin? I can jump off this. Thank you. Continue to chat right into this, or jump into this if you want. We're going to be saving these responses and using us to help develop further programs. So
we have some time. Yeah, we have about 10 minutes actually.
Oh, so we made up some time along the way. Well, that's good anyway, because if there's time at the end, we might be able to do a little maybe break off into some rooms to maybe be able to network a little bit with some of the emerging professionals on the call today. So we can spend another few minutes on this here. I just want to oops.
Sarah, can you scroll down so we can see?
I can. I just was trying to do that. It wasn't letting me at first. Here we go. So answers, kindness, knowledge. This is what other people are expecting. Great place to ask questions and run scenarios. That's a great one. I know I've done that. Help with getting knowledge or needed resources. No judgment, open dialogue. Lessons learned, promoting development in relationships. What would be helpful? More training and guidance on career progression. Love that. One-on-one time with a mentor, a forum, monthly meets, organized events for public speaking practice. That's a great one. I hate public speaking. I get so nervous before this call today. I was so nervous. I was telling them on the call, I said, I can't wait till it's over. But that's public speaking for me. But while I'm doing it, it's fine. So what would you like to see happen next for emerging professionals? A robust mentor. I think I said this one. Continue to evolve and stay relevant for emerging professionals. That's a tough one. And especially when you have a program, a chapter has a program, you really need to stay connected with your members, because we don't know what you want. You know what I mean? And as things change and you want to stay relevant, you have to survey your members. So definitely keep in touch with your chapters. Let them know what you want through my chapter. Let's see, where did you hear about this? WANIGP, through my boss in SAMPO, my amazing supervisor, Ginny. Oh, shout out Ginny. SAMPO email. received an email. So these are great. Thank you everybody for chiming in. This is wonderful. I love connecting. This is our first time using a Padlet in a presentation. So it was a nice little practice way to use this. Thank you, Christy Varda from NIGP. If you're familiar with her, she gave me a nice little tutorial on using Padlet. She's a Padlet queen. So thank you. And Ginny, if you want, I can stop sharing my screen and we can get back to the presentation here.
Yeah, and actually the next slide is with you again for a Q&A. Let's see here. All right. Whoops. That's share screen button, you know. It's always eluding.
The elusive share screen button.
The elusive share button. There we go. All right.
All
So
right, I think that's, oh, go ahead.
Nope, that was it. I was just going to toss it over.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, well, thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Sarah, and to our 4 volunteers, or voluntold as it may be, but for sharing their experiences. I do know that, well, I personally want to thank SAMPO very publicly for just taking me under their wing and letting me participate before we decided here in WANIGP to do an emerging professionals program. It's been fantastic. So thank you so much. For those of you on the call, is there anything that we left out of our conversation that you have questions on, either starting or as an emerging professional? Things that you would like to see? I know we've asked those questions a little bit in the Padlet, but this is just another open forum to kind of do that. So go ahead and raise your hand. We'll call on you. You can drop it in chat, whatever makes the most sense for you. We'll give a couple minutes for folks to do that. I really do like, as we're waiting for folks to kind of ask any questions, I really like the ideas and even maybe topics on things that people want to hear. Listening about public speaking, that is something I think every single person has to face in their career, is some sort of public speaking process. And so that's a great one. So we have a question from B. Does NIGP have a mentorship program? And we do. Does anyone here want to chat about it? I know we have a few folks who've been participating. I know Linda Hodgson, and I'm calling you on you very, very much cold calling, but you have been a mentor in that program. Do you have any information you can share on that?
Well, I was in one of the first beta testing groups, so I know it has emerged into something different today.
Yeah.
They now have sort of an online program that matches people. So that's kind of cool. Before, they just kind of looked at your application and said, oh, this one will match this one. But even with that, thank you very much, Victor. With that, they did a great job. My mentee, I was a mentor, and my mentee was also from a very large state agency, but on the opposite side of the country. She was in Florida and I was in Washington, of course. And that was kind of fun, just getting to know her. We did meet on a monthly basis. One of I just kept asking her, well, what do you want to learn? She was, I don't know, tell me a story, or whatever. So we started going through different procurements that I had run in the past. I showed her the language and explained why we wrote it in a certain way, and that kind of just the critical thinking that needed to go into that procurement, as well, of course, of all the required sort of things that Washington State had to put into their solicitation. So that was a lot of fun, and we got to know each other. And she joined NIGP. She wasn't a member before that, so that was cool. And she's also looking at her certification, getting her certification. So, and we're still in touch today, a few years later. So it was kind of fun. But looks like Victor has given us the mentorship program information. So please reach out to them and go for it, whether you're experienced or not. It's really, really cool program. Get to know other people and hear about their challenges too. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate your willingness to jump on without any advance notice.
No problem.
Erin, it looks like your hand is raised.
Hi, I just wanted to mention the Insight portion of the NIGP website that I was not even familiar with until I was actually asked to help out with this presentation today. But I think it's a great resource. I love networking. I think this group is so generous for public procurement professionals in general, but it's a great way to connect and just find more information for our career, our work. So that's it.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great resource. I learn every day. And in fact, one of my colleagues just recently reached out to our a Google group here in Washington, and he's not an NIGP member. He's not supported, I don't think, by his entity to become an NIGP member just due to his job type. He's not necessarily procurement, he's a project coordinator. And so I put it out on Insight for him, and he has an answer from this morning. And I think he's able to move forward with his question. And that was less than 24 hours. He got an answer from our wonderful network of folks who are nationwide. So that's fantastic. Yeah. Anyone else? All right. Well, I am going to turn this back over to you, Sarah and Jenny. And
I apologize for that little snafu there. Let's see here. It's too many screens, right? Let's see here. Yeah, I need like 4 screens. I think I kept thinking I was going to go bug Victor this morning to go, hey, maybe I might need some help, but hang on a second.
You're doing great. Thank you for taking the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Victor, thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Victor, thank you for responding in the chat with those links. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. There we go. All right, wrap up. Sarah, you're actually back up. We're going to talk about forum a little bit.
I'm just a chatty Kathy here this afternoon or morning, depending on your time zone. So wrapping up here, and it's so funny, Erin, thank you for the segue. One of the things I was going to mention is a great way to connect. I know we had a lot of emerging professionals on this call today. Another great way to connect with other first timers and young professionals outside of your chapter is through the NSIGHT forum or through the NSIGHT link on the NIGP website. That's a great place to connect. It's a great place to ask questions and just sort of meet other people in that sense. I know NIGP forum is coming up, and if it's something you're attending, once you register, you're automatically enrolled in the NSIGHT NIGP forum community. And from there, you can reach out, hey, what's everyone doing for dinner on this night? Or is anyone else going alone? Or I'm brand new to procurement. I've never been to forum. And I'm just looking to connect with like-minded people. This is the place to do that. So just wanted to mention that. That's a great resource for you. Also, if you're going in person to NIGP Forum this year, they have a first timers and young professionals event every year. This year, it's going to be on Saturday, August 24th. From 4:30 to 5:30. The location is to be determined at this point. We're still in the process of scheduling that and arranging that. However, the time slot, it's going to be right before the meet and greet for all attendees. So it's a nice way to get all the first timers, young professionals in a room, sort of play a little icebreaker game, get to know one another. And then as a group, we'll all walk together to the meet and greet where all attendees of forum will be. So that's another great resource if you are attending in person of forum this year. Charlotte, we're going to be in Charlotte this year in August. So that, just keep an eye out for more information on that. But just wanted to mention those two great resources, is the NSIGHT and also networking at forum.
Great. Thank you for that. And again, just to, thank you for joining us today. Please be in touch with us with any questions. Here's our email address. And for the time being, we've got 3 minutes. We're just going to wrap it up a little turbo speed at the end here. I'm going to give the floor to my co-chair, Cheryl Mankey.
Hi, I also just wanted to share a new program we have at NIGP National that I started based on the things we're doing here, just really trying to help members find their path forward. So Concierge is a complimentary program where we help individuals or entire divisions, entire teams within your organization navigate education and certification options available, because that's really complicated. It's a lot to navigate. So we send you a quick questionnaire, and I have a team of past NIGP presidents and current leaders across the country as a team, and we will work with you one-on-one. We ask you questions about your background, your current role, your education, any certifications and experiences, and what your goals and future career aspirations are. And then together we develop a customized plan for you so that you have that path forward, recommendations from us and the trainers, the chief content officer at NIGP National. And then we mentor you and stay by your side as you move forward through all of that. So just reach out to me if you need any guidance. We're here to help. We've helped over 300 members so far and a list of entities. Just help everybody level set. So really cool.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for that, Cheryl. And I guess because we are at like 2-minute marker here, I'm going to stop the share. Just wanted to let you know again that we are here for you. We are a resource, whether we're East Coast or West Coast. I don't know who's in between, but we are definitely here for you to help you. We can share documents that we didn't get to show you all the documents, but we definitely have a library of them, and we'll share the native format or, you know, in PDF, however you want to do it. You can ask us about how we market the events, but definitely we're excited. You know, I want to give maybe 1-minute plug here for Trudy. What did you think about the presentation today and how it's going to inspire you to move it forward?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for other chapters who don't have a program to honor the emerging professionals and assist them throughout their career and be able to have an opportunity. Like I said, RMGPA does not have one, and we would love to put one together if we have a member need for it. So reach out if you're an RMGPA member and, you know, give us feedback.
Great. Well, we'll give you guys your time. It is 10 o'clock our time, but thank you so much. I'll post a recording on our website, send you the PowerPoint presentation so you have all our notes, and we hope that you have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, make it a great one.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody, for
Thanks.
coming.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh,
Thank
Sam, I'm
you.
going to make myself the host so I can actually do the recording. Before I hit the stop recording, hold on. Where did Sam go? Make me host again. Oh, thank you. All right, I'm going to stop the
Great job.
recording, and I'll see you guys in a few hours.